Hey guys, welcome to Whispers in Ink. You guys, welcome to Card Making 101. Today, we're going to talk about some helpful tips on where to start, along with some basic card measurements that I'm going to walk you through. And know that the measurement chart that I posted last week, which includes the 16th of an inch and eighth of an inch and half, quarter inches, that measurement has now been that little tape. Let me show you what I'm talking about because I got it right here. This photo right here that I shared last week, you guys, is now in the community tab. It's an amazing thing to have. It will always be there so long as YouTube allows me to post it there. But I figured that would be a great way for you to always know where it is. Because sometimes when you take a screenshot, or sometimes when you intend to save things, me, when you intend to save things, you forget where you saved them. So it will always be in that community tab on my YouTube channel. Okay, so welcome you guys. I am Jennifer. I'm not only here to inspire you not to forget things, but I'm here to give you permission to try something new because I know you can do it. I know you can. Because, and I don't know if I've shared with you guys or not, but you guys, my mom is an artist, okay? And I mean, like, seriously, she does paintings, okay? Well, she did. Alzheimer's has, dementia, whatever, has stolen her from us. But in regards to her art, she's still here, but you know what I mean. Anyways, anybody who has seen that, understands it, knows exactly what's going on. But anyways, okay? And when your mom tells you that you're not artistic, you guys, I knew I wasn't artistic, okay? But let me tell you, through 20-ish over years, okay, I have honed my craft. You guys have seen all the different things that we do. And I am pretty proud to say that now I feel, and I know mom does too, because she's told me before she forgot how to explain things, that I am artistic too, just in a different fashion, right? I may not be able to paint, but I can scoop up a card and make one like that. But anyway, so where do we start, right? I talked about a couple weeks ago, probably a month ago actually, I spoke about the list of supplies where I suggest for you to start. But I mean, okay, so I can get some of those things on clearance racks and what have you, which you can. However, I can say that I have since thrown all of that stuff. Actually, I haven't thrown it away. Some of it I did because I couldn't use it anymore, but most of it I donated. But trust me when I say that I use this and why I use it, I actually do use it. And I use it for that reason. So this is kind of like a... Oh, you guys, I even forgot how to mount my stamp. That's okay, because we can do that here. I can say that I actually do use these things on a daily basis, okay? But let's talk a little bit more about where to start. Everybody's like, okay, Jen, I've got the list. Now where do I go? I need some cardstock. I need something. Where do I start? I tell people with over 50 colors, you guys, Stampin' Up! Has 50 colors. There is a group of colors that you are drawn to, right? So let me explain what I mean by a group of colors. Stampin' Up, as you can see, has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different groups of colors. And we have those colors. Neutrals, we're going to pick that as our example because it's at the top of the page. There are 10 different neutral colors in this color family. What I suggest to folks is find a color family that speaks to you. Neutrals, regals, subtles, or even the brights, right? Find a color family that you're really super happy with everything that's in it. Or, let's say you're getting designer series paper, which is our pattern paper, right? You love these. You love this paper. This is free celebration paper. And don't worry, you guys, everything I'm using again today is always in the description below. But let's say I saw this amazing designer series paper in this catalog. Oh my gosh, this daisy one right here. Oh, I love this, right? So what I love about Stampin' Up is they list all of the colors that we love about this, okay? So what you can do is you can go through Azure Afternoon, Boho Blue, Bubble Bath, Cajun Craze, Copper Clay, Crushed Curry, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Lemon Lolly, Moody Mauve, Pebbled Path, Pretty Peacock, or Wild Wheat. You can go through those colors and find which one of the color families is going to have the majority of those colors. Now, when you get color family paper packs, that's what these are, cardstock packages, right? When you get color family packages, you're going to have to flip the page over one time, because what you can do is you see that you can get 2 of each of the colors in the brights or the neutrals, the regals, or the subtles. So if you get an 8.5 by 11 pack, there's 20 sheets in there, and you get 2 of each color. I think that doing the color families like this is a great way to start. With that being said, let's look back that one page, and I remember seeing Pebbled Path, Moody Mauve, Boho Blue, Wild Wheat, and Copper Clay in that whole paper pack that we just talked about, right? That daisy paper pack, all of those were in there. Now, this is my caveat to color families. This is the 5th color family, and it's called In Colors. When we talk about In Colors, you guys, there's 10 colors, but they only stay in for 2 years, okay? So these 5, the Sweet Sorbet, Parakeet Party, Tahitian Tide, Starry Sky, and the Orchid Oasis, those 5 colors will be retiring at the end of this catalog. This color group, the Copper Clay Wild Wheat that I just read, that's in that daisy paper, this one is staying for 1 more year. So this color family has 2 different paper packs. So we'll look back over here, and you see where it says In Colors 23 to 25 or 22 to 24. The 22 to 24 is the one that's leaving. The 23 to 25 is the one that's staying. So you can get this color pack to go with that designer series paper that we picked out. Remember that daisy one, okay? That boho blue, moody mauve, and all that. We can get that paper pack, and we get 4 of each of the 5 colors. So that's the color pack that I'm working off of today. So you would get 4 of the Pebbled Path pieces, and you would get 4 of the Wild Wheat pieces. And these are the 2 that I am going to be using today with my softly stippled free paper. And I like this piece here because this piece can go masculine or feminine. All of this side, these all are, the flowers are all feminine, right? So I want to work off of this wild wheat piece, and I really like this color combination together, the pebbled path and the wild wheat. Now, this is not everybody's color palette, right? Hear me out so that I can, explain my thought process here, okay? I want to help you get your hands on paper that you can use, okay? So no matter what color family pack you get, or if you choose to buy a whole pack of your ultimate favorite color, that's great. But I am just walking you through on a way to get more to work with, which is why I'm talking about the color family paper packs. Okay, so with that, so we bought this color pack, and we bought a couple of ink pads, and we bought this throughout the year stamp set to get this paper for free, okay? Because this you get for free with a $50 purchase. This stamp set, this is how it comes, you guys. It comes unmounted. So we're going to mount our stamp real quick, and we're going to make a card. By the time I'm done, I'm working with that Pebbled Path ink. And let's see. I think, actually, we're going to make 2 cards. So I'm going to make a thank you card, and I think I'm going to make an Easter card. A simple Easter card, or we could do a birthday card. I'm thinking Easter, actually. Hang on. I gotta look at these sentiments again. Isn't it bad when you don't remember what the sentiments are? Happiest of birthdays, happy Easter, trick or treat. You mean so much to me. Okay, so you saw that I pulled the sticky parts off. I pulled this one off too. That's on here. I forgot, you guys. Sorry. So this is the word that coordinates with this. And what I do when I mount my stamps is I find a spot that's different, like this piece right here. And I do my very, very best, because once you put this down, there's no going back. So we're going to put that on there, like that. Just like that. And then to lift it up, I put my finger underneath, and I push, and then here's your thank you card. So what other sentiment are we going to do? Let's see. You mean so much to me. Happy holidays. Be my Valentine. Best of luck. Cheers to you. Actually, that cheers to you is a good one. Happy holidays. I think we will do happy Easter. So I'm taking my stamp and I'm pulling it off my rubber. Okay. Then I'm going to find the happy Easter here. Yep. And there's always a little break, you guys, in the adhesive protector part. So we're going to pull this one side off. And then we're going to pull this other side off. And that reveals our little sticker. Now we need to get this part ready. So here's our stamp, and we're going to take this protected piece off. Just like that. And again, here's our little different part right here. So I'm going to line that up. Oh, and look it. See, I was off, but that's okay. It's close enough. But you can see how much off we are. But once you put it down, it's down, you guys, or else you rip it. So I'm not even perfect. It's all good. Okay. So those are the 2 sentiments I'm going to use. I'm not going to do them all. You guys get the basic idea of what we're going to do. Okay. So now let's talk measurements. There are 2 different ways that you can do card bases. And we're talking for a basic card. first you're going to need your trimmer. And remember, that was on the secondary list, the second list of things you needed to do. So the first measurement that we're going to do, or first card base that we're going to do, I'm going to do long across the top. Okay, so this is the 11-inch and this is the 8.5. So the first card base style that we're going to get is 5.5 by 8.5. So I'm putting it at 5.5, and we know that this is already 8.5. So I'm going to cut that. So here is card base number 1. But I like to score my card bases. It makes it so that they get nice crisp edges. So I'm going to again put long across the top because that's our 8.5 now. And we're going to score this at 4.25. But hold on a minute. I want to show you something. 4.25 is right here. Okay. So when I'm doing a card base, I like to do what I call, whoops, sorry about that. What I try to do is I do it on the light side. So I don't cover the line, I get close to that line. So you see that 1/4-inch line there? And I do that because, and let me show you, we're going to use the scoring piece here, and then we're going to fold this. But you see that little bit of a difference you get there? That makes it easier for the recipient to open it. We're going to use our bone folder. And just like that, we have a card base. Ta-da! Perfect. Okay, so again, a little bit of a review. Long across the top with the 11-inch piece, you cut it at 5.5. And you guys, I will put the measurements in the description, so do not worry. All right, so what's the other way that you can cut this? This one, we've got the 8.5 across the top. So we're doing short across the top. And I'm doing the opposite. Remember, we scored this one at 4.25, right? So this time I'm going to cut at 4.25. And remember, dark is death. So we're going to use the dark blade. And this is going to be our other card base. So we're going to put long across the top now. And again, we're going to go a little bit light. And we're going to use the light piece and we're going to score this. So here is our second card base. So we've got two basic card bases. One opens this way and one opens this way. So there's our two cards. Okay, but I love using designer series paper. The pattern's already there. This one has a very light texture, which I like. Okay, so we need to, I want to use this, but I'm one, and I'm pretty particular about this. I love adding a piece of cardstock behind my designer series paper. So we're going to switch the colors and we're going to make a layering piece for each of these cards, one with the wild wheat and one with the pebbled path for each of our card bases. So where do we go? Well, we're going to need our trimmer again. And this piece, we're going to do long across the top and we're going to cut it. We're going to go down 1/4 inch. So our card base, this one, is 5.5 by, or what? It's actually 5.5 by 4.25. Okay, so we're going to go from the 5.5, we're going to go down 1/4 inch, which is 5.25, and we're going to cut. And then we're going to turn this, because I know that this is 4.25, So we want this to be cut at 4 inches. And you're going to love this. Check this out. We get that nice, even reveal all the way around. That's what we want. All right. So let's make the one for this piece. This one, again, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So 4 1/4, again, we want to do it at 4 inches. And I'm doing long across the top. And then I'm going to turn it 1/4 inch. And again, cut this at 5 1/4. Kind of the reverse of what we did over here, right? So that we have that same even reveal all the way around. Then it's easy to come in with our designer series paper. We're going to go down 1/4 more inch, which is going to take us from 4 inches, which is what we did this and this at 4 inches. So we're going to take it down to 3 3/4, and we're going to cut. And you guys, this is a lot of practice, okay? The measurements will be in the description below, but you'll notice that the pieces that I have left are pretty darn close, and I have 1 piece of each. I'm going to be still using this for sentiment pieces, but this is what I have left of each of those 1 pieces. 1 piece of each. Sorry. Now, I need 2 pieces here. So I'm going to turn this long across the top now. And remember, we did 5 1/4. So I'm going to go down 1/4 inch, and I'm going to do 2 cuts at 5 inches. There's 1 for this one. And then there's another one for this. So that's all the cutting for the moment. We're going to have to cut for sentiments, but that's about it. Okay. So here is a basic card. We've got pattern paper, a nice layer, and then we've got our card base. All right. So, that was a lot of math. And you guys, I don't expect you to remember this from the very beginning. That's why I'm going to put the measurements in the description below. But the key is that out of 1 piece of cardstock, you get 2 card bases. So if I were to have left the Pebbled Path, the dark brown one, if I would have left that into 2 pieces, we could have gotten 2 cards out of that and then added other layers. So no matter which way you face your paper, whether it's the short across the top or the long across the top, you should get 2 equal card bases from 1 8.5 by 11 piece. And you guys, that's something that it's just a matter of sitting down, taking a minute, take a deep breath, and you can do it. I know you can. All right, so let's put these designer series paper pieces on our coordinating cardstock. So this goes onto here like that, and then this one's going to go on here like this. And I am trying to center these so that you get all the same all the way around, okay? And then we're going to put these on here. Now, you can glue them or dimensional them or however you want. I'm going to actually glue these. Glue these pretty, and we'll put a dimensional on the sentiment part. So we're going to put this on here like this. And we're going to put this here like this. I always think it's kind of fun. You guys, my dad gives me a hard time because he never knows how to open a card when I send him one because of all the different types of folds that we do. Because I love fun folds. But these are the 2 regular, everyday card bases. 5.5 by 8.5 or 4 1/4 by 11. Easy peasy. There we go. You guys, I know you can do it. Okay, so next is our sentiments. I have 2 different sentiments that we're going to use. Here's my Happy Easter. And I'm going to put that on my H block. And I'm going to stamp this at the bottom down here. And this is how I cheat, you guys. And what I mean by cheating, hang on, let that sit for a second. It's crooked. Dang it. Flipping it over, we're going to try again. Apparently, I need to ink up this stamp. Because it is definitely not taking that ink very nicely. Let's see what we get this time. Better. Okay. So there's our Happy Easter. Remember, there's 2 sides to every piece of paper. And nobody's going to know about this side because it's going to be adhered on your piece. Nobody's going to see it. Okay, so I stamped at the bottom, you see? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this sentiment piece out. So what I did is I stamped, and I stamped it towards the bottom so that I could very easily figure out how big my piece needed to be, my sentiment piece, so that it looks just like that. We're going to put a little flag on the end like we did our little basket, and that's going to be easy peasy. Now we've got our thank you, which is a smaller piece, but that's okay. So I'm going to take a different block, and we're going to try to get, whoa, sorry, that was loud. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm going to take our thank you, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp it down here. Just like that. And I'm going to bring in my trimmer again to figure out how much I need. So I want an even reveal, and then I cut. So there we go. There's our sentiment piece. And it's cut, you guys, it's easy to stamp on a bigger piece and trim it. Honestly, I promise it's easier. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to take my scissors. For this one, I'm going to make a big cut up here. And we're going to flag this like we did the last time. Remember, we went up through the middle and then over each side. So there's our Happy Easter for that. And then we have this thank you. And I want to do a flag on that too, but we have enough for another thank you piece, so I'm going to put that over to the side. And we're going to flag that. And then there's our thank you part for that. So, keeping it simple, I'm going to do the thank you card, and we're going to do it just plain like this. So I'm going to put dimensionals on my thank you part. But I'm going to step up the Easter. I like to keep thank yous pretty simple, but other holiday cards, I like to add a little something, something. And you don't need to do this, but I have this stuff, and if you do too, then go for it. But what I thought we would do is I'm going to take, this is the Pebbled Path ribbon, And I'm just going to take it and I'm going to make a knot or make a bow. Just what I call a bunny ear bow, which is one bunny ear and two bunny ears, right? And then we're going to make a knot. Just like this. No, Donnie, you're not going up there. Just like that. And I don't mind, because I'm thinking that I'm going to tuck this under here like this. So we don't need, actually, that's not long enough. So let's make it a little bit longer, because I do want to see the tails. I was thinking just leave the tails out of it, but I like the look of adding the tails. And then tighten it up so that it stays. And then I'm going to use my ribbon scissors. There. And just getting off the schmeglies. There. And what we're going to do, we're going to take a glue dot for this. We're going to put that there like that. And then we're going to put our Happy Easter like that, which means that we're going to do dimensionals here, here, and here, because it's going to hold it in place then on top of that little bow, but you'll see the bow still. And if you're worried about this part sticking to this, you can put a glue dot there. I'm not too worried about it, but because I always say it's not going through a hurricane, but there you go. Just easy. Simple cards, you guys. Doesn't have to be crazy. Okay? Sometimes, you guys, in my Ding Dong Ditch classes, I give you ribbon or embellishments. So if that's something that you're interested in, you want to check out whispersandink.net. Again, whispersandink.net. And you can check out all of my different ideas. But that is basic cards, you guys, okay? Sentiment piece that is just tiny enough for your sentiment, and we used our ink, but there's one more thing. We don't have insides on these. So what I'm going to do is I have a half of a piece of white here, and this is going to need to be 5 1/4 inches by 4 inches for both cards. So we're going to have 2 5 1/4 by 4, because I like having insides that are either white or vanilla. And I like that because no matter what pen you use, especially on this dark cardstock, it's pretty consistent then, just like that. And what we can do even is we've got this piece of Designer Series paper left, and we can put little strips in there just to do a little something something. Because that way then you're not wasting your Designer Series paper, and it's connecting the front with the inside. So we've got 2 of those. And that way then too, depending on if you have what your sentiments are in your stamp set, you don't have to worry about having a stamp on the inside, because you've got a little something something on the inside. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. But anyway, so I did just a half of an inch, and this was the leftover piece from these. Okay, so I'm just using what I've got, left over. And we're going to glue these in. Now, if you have a stamp that coordinates with the sentiment that you put on the front, fabulous. I do not. Because this one, well, I think we could do "You Mean So Much to Me" with the thank you. But I think I like just the designer series paper. Because that way then I can make it for whomever I want and custom the note on the inside to whomever I'm sending it to. So that's entirely up to you what you want to do. But there we go. 2 cards, Happy Easter and a thank you card. And see that even reveal all the way? That's what we just did by dropping it down 1/4 of an inch with each cut. So remember, the actual cuts, these basic measurements for the Pebbled Path Wild Wheat and the Designer Series paper will be in the description below. I hope that this was helpful for you, you guys. I'm so thankful that you joined me today. Please comment below if you're catching this replay and you have any questions, you guys. To me, there are no stupid questions, so please let me know. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have an amazing day getting crafty, and I look forward to seeing you next week.